Happening now, breaking news. The U.S. Justice Department just filed a formal appeal of the appointment of a special master who's overseeing the review of highly classified documents seized from Mar-a-Lago. Stand by. We have details. Also tonight, former President Trump lashes out at the January 6th Select Committee, but doesn't reveal if he'll comply with a new subpoena from the committee. This, as CNN obtains exclusive extended footage of congressional leaders trying to work around Trump as they scramble to secure the U.S. Capitol during the riot. And even after a week of deadly Russian attacks, Ukrainian forces are making major gains in the occupied Kherson region, prompting Russian officials to announce an evacuation. Welcome to our viewers here in the United States and around the world. I'm Wolf Blitzer. You're in the Situation Room.
This is CNN Breaking News.
Let's get right to the breaking news on the battle between the U.S. Justice Department and the Trump team over that Mar-a-Lago special master. CNN senior justice correspondent Evan Perez is working the developments for us. He's got the latest information. What are you learning, Evan?
Well, Wolf, the Justice Department filed its formal appeal of this ruling from Eileen Cannon, the judge down in Palm Beach, who had given Donald Trump a chance to have a special master to review these 21,000 pages that were seized as part of the FBI search in Mar-a-Lago back in August. The Justice Department is saying that the judge had abused her discretion. They're quoting is exactly from a previous ruling by the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals in Atlanta, and they're pointing out that, you know, not only does Donald Trump have no reason to have a special master appointed, he's not even asserted a claim of personal attorney-client privilege. I'll read you just a part of this court filing here. It says the plaintiff has not asserted a claim of personal attorney-client privilege that would justify the district court's order. He has no plausible claim of such a privilege with respect to records that are bearing classification markings or any other government documents related to his official duties. They're pointing out that the judge in this case, Eileen Cannon, overstepped her jurisdiction here by appointing a special master. Now, we don't know where this will end up. We know that the appeals court has set forth a timeline for the former president's legal team to come back. They have a response in November. Possibly, according to the Justice Department, they're asking for oral arguments before the appeals court in Atlanta before this is going to get resolved. Keep in mind, the special master is already reviewing these 21,000 pages that were seized as part of the Mar-a-Lago search. So it's quite possible that some of this might be, moot by the time he's done with his work, which could happen, obviously, in the next few weeks.
We shall see. I know you're working your sources. Stand by. We'll get back to you, Evan Perez, with the breaking news. There's more news we're following as well. Let's get to the January 6th investigation. Over 24 hours after the Select Committee's bombshell hearing, President Trump is dodging a very, very key question. Will he actually face the panel under oath? CNN's Kristen Holmes has the latest on the new subpoena for Trump and the chilling new video obtained by CNN.
We are obligated to seek answers directly from the man who set this all in motion.
Former President Trump ignoring the fact that the January 6th committee voted to subpoena him in a 14-page response posted on his social media platform. Instead, focusing on grievances around the 2020 election and passing the blame for security failures. Quote, the troops were ready to go. Nancy Pelosi and Muriel Bowser didn't do their job. They didn't like the look of soldiers. Capitol Police have testified that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was not involved in decisions about the National Guard ahead of January 6th. This after CNN obtained never-before-seen footage showing lawmakers, including Pelosi, fleeing the Capitol.
We have got to finish the proceedings or else we're going to have to come to
The exclusive video shot by Pelosi's daughter and documentarian Alexandra Pelosi, giving an inside look at Democrat and Republican lawmakers transforming Fort McNair, 2 miles away, into a command center, even considering reconvening the congressional proceedings to certify the election for Joe Biden at the military base.
We're being told it could take days to clear the Capitol, and that we should be moving everyone here to get the job done. We'd rather go to the Capitol and do it there, but it doesn't seem to be safe.
While Pence evacuated the Senate chamber, he stayed behind in the Capitol with his security detail.
I worry about you being in that Capitol room. Don't let anybody know where you are.
I'd like to know a good goddamn reason why it's been denied.
Then Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer shouting at Army Secretary Ryan McCarthy after hearing a rumor Trump blocked the National Guard going to the Capitol.
Please move. The whole Capitol is rampage. There's a picture of someone sitting in this chair of the Senate. We've all been evacuated. There have been shots fired. We need a full National Guard component now. He said it was not denied. I'm going to call up the effing Secretary of DOJ.
A group of lawmakers, including Republican leaders Representative Kevin McCarthy and Senator Mitch McConnell, calling Acting Defense Secretary Christopher Miller, urging a faster response.
Getting there in one hell of a hurry, you understand?
Got you loud and clear, leader.
And Pelosi and Schumer also confronting Acting Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen in a heated phone call.
No. Please answer my question. Answer my question.
Senator, I'm going to do everything I can do.
Does that include asking the president to get these people who are followers of hers to leave the Capitol?
We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
The footage also shows Pelosi earlier in the day reacting to Trump's speech.
When he comes, I'm going to punch him out. This is my moment. I would pay to see that. I'm waiting for this, for trespassing on the Capitol grounds. I'm going to punch him out, and I'm going to go to jail, and I'm going to be happy.
I'm going to punch him out, I'm going to go to jail, and I'm going to be happy. I mean, striking words here from the Speaker of the House talking about President Trump. But perhaps the most interesting moment in all of this video really comes from Speaker Pelosi calling Vice President Pence and being genuinely concerned about his well-being. This is so interesting, given what we now know that President Trump himself was doing at this same time, sending a tweet as the rioters were there on the Capitol saying Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done, which many of his aides believe added more fuel to the fire.
Certainly did. Kristen, thank you very much. Stay with us. I also want to bring back Evan. He's still with us, as well as our legal experts, Shan Wu and Elliot Williams. Elliot, I want to begin with your reaction to this news that we just got from Evan about the Justice Department now saying the special master should simply go away from continuing his investigation of what happened in Mar-a-Lago.
That's simply it, Wolf. They're just saying it should go away. Look, this is actually highly technical, legal back and forth over the jurisdiction that courts have. But at the end of the day, it comes down to just something very simple. When there is a criminal investigation, the president ought to, in effect, bend the knee to it. And they cite to Richard Nixon and Nixon versus GSA, this case from the 1970s. That's really what this comes down to. And also making the point once again that the president had no need for these materials under any circumstances. Now, certainly there's personal property of the president, but this is not that. And they make that case very clearly here.
So let me get Shan's thoughts on this. Shan, could the special master go away if the Justice Department prevails in this appeal right now?
Oh, they could. I mean, the 11th Circuit could say that the actual appointment is wrong. I mean, Trump's trying to make some very technical arguments about why you can't get to that appointment aspect of it. But the department now fully joins the battle on that point. And it's a very important one because it's really unprecedented to use the judiciary to interfere with the criminal investigation. And that's what's happening here. It creates all sorts of possibilities for problems down the road if the department's looking at documents that the special master will later say, oh, you're not supposed to be looking at those.
Based on all your reporting, Evan, how likely is it that the Justice Department will prevail?
They have a good chance. I mean, look, one of the interesting things they do in this brief is they are citing the very same court, the 11th Circuit, pointing out that they, in their previous ruling, where the Justice Department was allowed to regain access to the 100 classified documents that Eileen Cannon, the first judge, had denied them, they're pointing out that this court itself had said that she had abused her discretion. They also point out, Wolf, that the former president should not be getting rewarded for trying his attempts to delay this criminal investigation. That's really what the end game that Donald Trump is playing, which is to just delay. And they're pointing out to this appeals court, don't let him do that. Because in the end, as Shan just pointed out, this is still an ongoing investigation. He's not been charged with anything. So typically, these types of fights happen when you're about to go to trial, not now.
It's a very dramatic development indeed. Kristen, I want to turn back to the January 6th committee's vote. We heard it 24 hours ago to actually go ahead and subpoena the former president of the United States. He's once again in this lengthy statement that he released today, responding to all of this. He's refusing to say, didn't say whether or not he will comply with the subpoena, but he is repeating all sorts of lies about what happened in the buildup to January 6th. And they're making the case that this is all premeditated, what he was doing, and help focus in and create the opportunity for these rioters to storm the U.S. Capitol.
That's right. He issued this 14-page response to the vote to subpoena him, but yet never said if he was actually going to comply with the subpoena. And I had talked to multiple aides who really were on both sides. You had one that, this is how the way it always is with Trump, right? On one side, you have those saying, let's have a televised response, let's get out there, let's fight this. And on the other side, they basically are telling him to be quiet and just take a step back, don't do anything with this. But you're right. He is still fixated on the 2020 election. And this is one of the problems that we see with Republicans in general when they're dealing with Trump. They still see him as the money magnet, as the leader of the Republican Party, but many of them wish that he would just move forward. We are now just weeks away from a midterm election, and he is still spreading lies about the 2020 election and sowing doubt in the democratic process.
Elliot, what options does the January 6th Select Committee actually have if Trump refuses to comply with the subpoena?
So that document sitting right there on the desk in front of you, Wolf, if you were a judge, you could slap a sticker on that right now and call it evidence, because that is the first piece of evidence in a possible contempt trial. Because what it is, that is a sign that he is not complying with the subpoena. He has an active subpoena right now and has basically issued a statement saying, well, I think this is not valid. Look, Congress can proceed with holding him in contempt of Congress, but at the end of the day, and then it would go to the Justice Department that would charge him with a crime. At the end of the day, the clock isn't really on their side right now. We know that there's an election coming. It appears that if you follow what the pundits say, the House of Representatives is going to switch hands come January. There'll be less of an appetite within Congress for proceeding. But if they send it to the Justice Department, it's a crime, not complying with the subpoena, and he could be charged with it.
He certainly could be. Kristen, I want to get back to that very, very dramatic video of what happened on January 6th, the video obtained by CNN. I want to play for our viewers and for you that very, very powerful moment of the conversation that the Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, had with then Vice President Pence, who was in deep trouble right then. Listen to this.
Hi, Mr. Vice President? Hi. Yeah, we're okay. We're here with Mr. Schumer, Mr. McConnell, the leadership, House and Senate. And how are you? Oh, my goodness, where are you? God bless you. I worry about you being in that Capitol room. Don't let anybody know where you are.
That was such a powerful human moment between these two leaders who don't often agree on much.
Well, not just didn't agree, but it was a very contentious relationship between Pelosi and the Trump administration overall. And a reminder here that Trump never called Vice President Pence, that we spoke to a number of Pence aides who felt like it was unforgivable, that he knew that he was in danger, that he was hiding in the Capitol, that the video shows he was just minutes away or seconds away from being in real harm, and he never got a call from the president, yet Nancy Pelosi was calling and checking on him.
Yeah, it was a very, very dramatic moment indeed. We're going to have more of that video coming up. Kristen Holmes, Evan Perez, Shan Wu, Elliot Williams, guys, thanks very much. Coming up, we'll have more, once again, of the chilling new video obtained by CNN showing top lawmakers trying to work around former President Trump to secure the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. We'll talk about it with the key member of the House Intelligence Committee. Plus, a juror in the Parkland school shooting trial now says she was threatened, as another juror describes the trial as being like a horror movie. Stay with us.